Hey everyone, and welcome to the monthly prediction video. I love making these, and it's kind of, well, let's say surprising that it's already end of February. It still feels like we're in the very early part of the year, but it feels like time is really flying these days. But alas, this is a long video. We've got lots of potential units to go through. As always, the disclaimer, this is just my personal prediction based on what should be happening in the game, but sudden collapse or Gumi being Gumi again and splitting banners, all that may happen, all that may shake up the order of releases, so take this with a grain of salt and more with a potential what is coming next set, and you'll be golden. But with that in mind, let's move on. First things first, we are looking at a new Clash of Wills unit. Maybe this time it's gonna be Roberta. I was pleasantly surprised to see the February unit being Esther, although I technically would have expected her to come in April, but not complaining. Esther is a great unit, and I mean there has to be, this has to be Roberta, right? We know that she's coming. She was the winner of the popularity poll, and I think it's time. It's time, Gumi. But please don't make her premium, will you? Please don't. Anyway, the first unit that we'll be getting next week on Thursday is Ninja Edge. He is a super limit burst unit. I talked about him last month as well. He didn't make the cut because we split a few things. So yeah, the Trustmaster unlocks an ability for debuffers only, 85% full break, 3 turns, 130 lightning in peril, last 3 turns. You will see that on a few more units today as well. The Super Trustmaster is a one-handed katana with 198 attack, 150 defense, 150 magic at 1.05 to 1.25x variance. That is also the new variant. So for katanas, we'll get that update on the 17th. Until then, this one will be technically the best katana in the game, depending on how they plan to release, of course. It also has 20% evasion and passive provoke, and ability unlock 100% defense for one ally and 30% damage, physical damage mitigation for one ally as well. The vision card, 70 base attack and 25 attack and magic on 4, and debuffer only gets 100 human killer and 100 LB damage. So nothing too special. The stats are bad, but it's kind of okay in terms of what it does for debuffers. So how good is he? He's got a 145 lightning imperial on his SLB, AoE insect killer 160. We'll see more of these things later on today. And yeah, he deals okay damage. The vision card passives might be a nice gimmick, but the vision card ultimately has super bad stats. But he does pair well, very well in fact, with Kayn Esther and Thunder Sakura. His kit is an absolute dumpster fire. He has 87 breaks on SLB, 88 break defense spirit on a single-use Grandis, and only a 35 lightning amp for self on SLB. So should you pull, you know who could use that vision card? Angela, because she is a debuffer. The vision card is straight up unusable due to the super low base stats. Those are 50 base stats below premium cards. And yeah, as a breaker, Cacteria is vastly superior. But Ninja Edge edges it out, edges out other dedicated breakers in terms of damage. Though, so that's good, excuse me. So skipping is probably still the best course of action here, unless you really want to make a dedicated lightning team with Esther, Kayn, and Thunder Sakura, that is. Alright, and let's talk about actually that we should be expecting, one that wasn't already on the list last month. The first one's Leftia. She's an SLB unit, and all units going forward will be SLB units, by the way. So the only non-SLB unit we'll be looking at in all of March is our Clash of Wills unit. That's really sad to say. But those are JP units, so no surprise. Leftia is a supporting unit most of the time. Her Trustmaster is an ability that is a 50x fire magic damage. It's cast 3 times. Yeah, nothing too special. It's nice to have though. The Super Trustmaster, Cloves, 70 magic, 70 spirit, 4 LB crystals, and 200% LB fill rate. I personally find this nice for the LB fill rate, but nothing else is really special about this. Division card, 800 base HP, 80 defense, 80 spirit, base all of it. The passives, 10% MP recovery per turn, 10% MP reduction for spells, etc. And 20% fire, ice, earth, dark resist. So this card, absolute trash tier. It's not really useful for anything, but the unit itself isn't also that good. And how good is she? I mean, she can grant AR frames to all party members, so cool. And she has a 45% fire amp with 300% LB boost on the SLB, also 300% stats. So in a way, she is a discounted Eris, but with better amps and the better LB boost, but less stats. So that's her only niche, literally, being a substitute for Cetra Descendant Eris. The bad, well, she has a super bland kit. In general, outside the SLB, and the vision card is also very bad. So should you pull? I mean, if you missed Cetra Descendant Earth while she was free, never pulled her ever since, she's a great replacement in that regard, especially for the fire amp department. For light, well, you gotta wait a little bit longer for Emperor Fina, that is, or Fina the second Empress or so. On the flip side, she's just another elemental amp with no real use. Her AR granting ability will make her nice to have for dark visions. Personally, I wouldn't advise on pulling, but she is a decent off-banner to get. And she will dilute the off-banner pull too. Next up is Harvey. He is basically a dark unit, but he is, well, how do I put him? He is kind of a breaker or debuffer, but different. So his materia, Darker, 20x dark magic damage to all enemies. It's an unlocking materia. His Super Trustmaster is an instrument, a one-handed instrument at 180 attack, 1 magic, 1.05 to 1.25x variance, so also the no variance stats. Grants 20% to all element resistance and reduces MP used by 50%, grants Darker a 20x mod increase, as well as Dark and Dark Ra. The vision card, it's also one of the bad ones, 60 attack and magic split, but it has 50% killer type to plant, reaper, and machina. Those are not tied to any series and also not tied to the type of unit, be it attacker, be it debuffer, etc. So that's okay, but the stats in themselves are rather bad. So how good is he? One thing to note is that his SLB has 4 elements at 135 Emperor. Those are fire, ice, earth, and dark. And the vision card is interesting, but has very bad stats. And his kit, if you look it up at on the JP Wiki, it's an absolute cluster duck. Don't do this to him. He has 87 breaks only on LB, SLB, so that's kind of meh. And yeah, should you pull? Not worth it. Definitely not worth it. As a breaker, he's just bad compared to a free unit that we can get right now, which is Cacteria. And he is a main dark guy user that won't be a huge DPS contributor to low mag base stat. And his SLB is a 160x modifier. Doesn't boast confidence either, so skip him. Next up is Ronda. Ronda is also another SLB unit, but Ronda was free, and that is the cool thing about him. The Trustmaster is a physical and magical tank ability only, which provides provoke plus 75% general mitigation for 2 turns. So both the provoke and the mitigation 2 turns. And the Super Trustmaster is a heavy shield, 200 defense, 80 spirit with 20% evasion and passive provoke on it. And physical tanks only, oops, that's a typo, they gain 50% general mitigation for 2 turns at the start of the battle for all allies. And one thing that is special about Randa is that he has no vision card. So Randa, as I mentioned, is a free unit, at least on JP. Randa was given out entirely for free. And this includes EX plus 3 as well. However, this wasn't given out immediately. Instead, it was batched into 3 different updates. So on the first batch, you got him to EX plus 1. The second one brought him to EX 2. And the third one then to EX 3. Randa, in the current state of the game on the JP, is mandatory to make Tybus a super strong SLB finisher. So make sure to always do the quests with Randa and get him to EX plus 3 because he will be kind of relevant for Tybus. And also he's a decent budget option in terms of tanking. Next up is Dark Rain, the premium unit that we are expecting in March. In terms of damage, he isn't really that special, but he does have a few things that are rather interesting. One of that is his Trustmaster reward. It's a materia, it's magic boost, or magic booster would be the translation, and there's Kai, I don't know, that's for something superior or so. But yeah, what it does is it boosts magic up to 300%. It's kind of comparable with those focus things, which means you can increase the magic of a unit over the usual cap 100% stats. So this goes up to 700% instead, which is rather strong for units such as Angela. In the process though, you will also reduce the SPR by 50%, but taking into account that in Dark Visions you're not supposed to take damage anyway, the 50 SPR reduction doesn't matter anyway. The Super Trustmaster is a spear. It's a one-handed mage spear at 220 magic with 1.0 to 1.3x variance. Not relevant yet because we don't have the mage variance update, and it won't be the case for a long time anyway. The spear also has 75% Fairy and Reaper killer on it with 500 static magic on Dark Rain only. Division card, it being a premium card, 130 base magic, 80 magic on passive, 100 LB damage, which is cool. For magic DPS only, by the way. And what's also cool is for magic DPS only, 500 static magic. So that's cool. It's a perfect card for Angela because she can make use of all of that, especially the 500 static magic. So yeah, how good is he? He has a superb vision card for actually good mages, aka Angela, she's the only good one. And the same applies to the Trustmaster. The bad thing, well, Dark Rain is worse than Angela in any given case. Be it with the Mage Variance update, be it without the Mage Variance update. The 350x SLB he has is almost half of the strength of Angela. So Angela will always be superior to him, no matter the element. But the worst thing is that he's a premium unit, so he will be very costly. His kit is super bland. And funnily enough, even pre and post variance fix, he doesn't want his spear. Nice. Nice. So should you pull him? I mean, he is a premium unit that's bad in terms of damage compared to actual premium units. And the Mage Variance update is still like 4 months away. His Vision card and TMR are the only really good things you want. And yeah, I mean, him being premium does make pulling for him, it's kind of a bad deal. So I'm just personally hoping to snipe him via tickets and then run him through what's it called, Fragment Dungeon for all eternity. Because I'm not spending up to 130k or more for a premium unit just to get the Vision card for Angela, who hasn't seen play in months because the Dark Visions didn't allow for it. So I feel like Dark Rain is like the worst investment of Lapis one could make. And all in all, with all things considered, he is just a bait unit to make Angela super strong. Has Angela seen uses lately? Kind of not, right? So please keep that in mind when you decide to pull on Dark Rain. Next up is Raven, the second Emperor. He is also an SLB unit, and here we are starting with the carbon copy stuff. Because a lot of these things will look very familiar to Ninja Edge. So the material is, I just directly translated what it says. It says bright to oru down in the Japanese version. It's probably light all down or light imperil. It's an 85% full break, 130 light imperil. It's only for debuffers in the last 3 turns, just like Ninja Edge, who has the same for lightning. The Super Trustmaster Clothes, 72 attack, 38 defense, 38% ice and dark resistance, debuffers only, gain 100% through dual wield, and a 30x mod increase for physical limit burst, physical being the kicker here. The Vision card, 70 base attack and magic at level 11, 25 attack and magic at level 4 passive, 100% demon killer, debuffers only, and 100% LB damage, debuffers only as well. So how good is Reagan, the new one, the second Emperor? He has a decent kit, I'll give that. Even for a super limit burst unit, this kit isn't all that bad, honestly. He has a 145% light imperil on his SLB, and even the LB isn't that bad at 140 light imperil, so that's cool. He has a 160 AoE demon killer on his SLB, which is another cool thing, but we do have, I believe, OG Elena at the X+3 or X+2, I don't know which one. The new Vision Awakened Elena also does have a demon killer at 160% if I'm not totally, but it's tied to Clash, so this is cool. And okay-ish breaks at 88%, defense spirit, but both are on a single-use Grandis, and well, Cacteria still does it better. And I just hope that he gets buffed to 89 or 90% breaks. Another thing is that he has no weapon imperil, even though he's a breaker unit or a debuffer unit, so that should have been the bare minimum. And it could have been a great option to bring back sword imperils, because the last unit that had sword imperil were Arden and Noctis, and nobody uses them anymore. I mean, yeah, technically, I believe Cacteria has it, or Ling. I think it's Cacteria, and that's just a 10% one. Nobody cares. We need that 35 or at least 30% sword imperil badly to bring back swords. And yeah, he's not as efficient as other breakers such as Cacteria, for example, who also has imbues and all that stuff. So yeah, should you pull? He is a decent unit, but sorely lacks the weapon imperil. Why he doesn't have that sword imperil, like I mentioned, is beyond me. 87 or 88 breaks aren't that good enough. Aren't good enough these days anymore, so yeah, he will be mainly brought for the high light imperil, and that is basically it. Next up is another one of these carbon copy units. It is Esther, also the second Emperor, and all you've seen with Reagan just now, he does the same. It's literally carbon copy, but instead of light, it's dark. So he has darkness all down. Same deal, 130 dark imperil instead of light, 85% full break. He has different resistances on his STMR, which has the same stats basically. 30% fire light resistance though. He has true double hand, 200%, and the 30x modifier increase. Everything is the same. The vision card, the only difference is the demon killer instead of whatever Reagan had. So yeah, same applies to the kit. So I literally carbon copied this too. He does have that 145 Dark Imperil on the SLB, 40 on the LB, instead of, what was it? Demon Killer. This time he had, or Reagan has, not Reagan, Esther has Beast Killer on it, and the rest is exactly the same. He also misses that Katana Imperil in his. So should you pull? I mean, he's literally Dark Reagan, the second Emperor, so everything I just said is literally the same. He likes that weapon imperil. Why he doesn't have Katana imperil is beyond me. And yeah, it's all the same. And lastly, this one is kind of iffy. Maybe we'll get him, maybe we'll not. It's Golden Razor. He was given out for free on the JP server as well. Has Trustmaster, 50% attack, 50% human demon killer, physical magical. Trustmaster, there is a helm with just 100 attack. And Golden Riser only gains 1000 static attack. His vision card, him being free, means it's not that good. And it shows 60 attack, 30 defense base, passives, and 4 and 7, and level 10 FFBE only are 15 Earth Lightning resistance and 30% Earth Lightning resistance at level 10. And at level 10 he also gains, or the wearer FFBE gains 20% attack and defense, so nothing too special. So is he a good free unit? The way he was distributed on the JP server is via box summons, much like star player Titus was. And his main gimmick is his power-up for normal attack, which goes up to 44,000. And yes, that's not a typo. So he can reach crazy amount of attack on his auto attack, meaning you don't pick any ability, you just click the unit and attacks. That's his main gimmick, and he can do a lot of damage with that. You also don't want to use his FFBE as it kills him in the end, or at the end, so don't use it. Overall, he's a neat gimmick unit, but he won't be too special or super helpful for upcoming trials, I believe. So let's talk about my personal release prediction. I believe that next week on March 3rd, so on Thursday, we'll get the Ninja Edge raid event. On March 10th, I think it's going to be time for Leftia Harvey and Ronda Mocking. Maybe they will tie in a special vision card to that. The banner itself is already pretty bad, so I think a vision card or global exclusive vision card could spice things up and make these two and Harvey you have to pull for a little bit more enticing. That's just my opinion here. And then we'll start with the Extra raid event, which probably is going to follow after that. On March 24th, we'll have Clash of Wills, plus hopefully Roberta. And on March 31st, we'll probably get Dark Reign, plus Reagan, the Second Emperor, and Golden Riser in a Mocking. I've been told by Mood on a Discord server that the Vision World where Dark Reign was featured came with Knights of Grand Sheld, so it's probably going to be a regular Dark Visions in March with Koku Ryu as the final boss. He's Dragon Reaper, sorry. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Also, one thing I'd like to mention is that War of the Visions is having its anniversary in March, and a potential collaboration could shake up the schedule. And I see this personally in week 2, so March 10th or maybe March 17th. If it's in week 2, it could potentially delay the Leftia, Harvey, and Ronda Mocking by 1 week, and the rest would stay the same, meaning X-Star would be pushed into April, which wouldn't be too surprising. I can see this happening, which would mean that we'll be starting off April with a Mocking event. Would make sense. It would also make sense to release X-Star after Reagan, so it's something I'm personally expecting to see, that we'll get a War of the Vision collaboration sometime next month. And yeah, that is it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek, this preview of what's to come in March. Let's see how many guesses I did correctly. And yeah, let me know your prediction and what you're looking forward to in March. That's it. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.